Mr. Speaker, it's extraordinary listening to that last answer from the Prime Minister. Inflation was 2% when Conservatives left office. 2%. It's now nearly double that. When will he recognise that it's Labour's budget driving up inflation?
This debate was meant to display leadership. Instead, it revealed collapse. Prices have surged to 3.5% under Keir Starmer, and this is how he reacts, evading scrutiny, pointing backward and grinning through turmoil. This wasn't recovery. Was political self-destruction. Liv Starmer didn't guide, he deceived, delayed and faltered. And while the nation struggles, his movement sneers. This debate wasn't only a failure, it was an admission.
I think what she forgot to say was over 11% on their watch, and she didn't say a word. I am confident those numbers will come down, Mr. Speaker. The Bank of England is confident those numbers will come down. That's why we've seen 4 interest rates in a row. But I notice she can't resist grabbing any opportunity to talk the country down. She doesn't mention the growth figures, the interest rate figures, record investment, wages up more than prices, 200,000 jobs created, 4 trade deals. And the reason, Mr. Speaker, they haven't learned, they haven't changed, and as George Osborne said, she doesn't have a credible economic plan.
Mr. Speaker, this is laughable from the Prime Minister. He knows that inflation was brought down by us to 2%, bang on target. We were reacting to a war in Ukraine that brought inflation up all over Europe. While he is doing trade deals with countries like the US and India, their inflation is going down. It's going up here. Why? The ONS says the inflation figures are driven by significant increases in household bills. We warned him repeatedly that this is exactly what would happen, what his policies would do. We called it Awful April. The Prime Minister came into office saying that he would tackle the cost of living crisis. He has failed. He hasn't got a clue, has he?
Now let's break it down. Right here, Keir Starmer uses the oldest trick in a desperate politician's playbook. Shift the blame for figures that no longer belong to his rivals. He drags out the past 11% inflation under the Conservatives, like a magician flashing a scarf, hoping no one sees the smoke swirling behind him. But here's the twist. That was then, this is now. Starmer holds the reins. Prices are rising again on his watch. So why is he still stuck in yesterday? Because he has nothing real to deliver today. Then comes the real punchline. I am confident the numbers will fall. Oh really? Based on what? Blind trust in Bank of England forecasts. That's not a policy. It's empty hope disguised as economic planning. Confidence won't heat a home and ferry. Tails won't keep supermarkets from hiking costs. And then he tries to mislead the country with cherry-picked data, growth, investment, jobs. But here's what he omits. Wages are up, yes, but costs are up more. Those 200,000 jobs, many are part-time, insecure and low-paid. The 4 trade deals, decoration, and every gain he boasts about comes while households are drowning. Worst of all, he accuses Bardneck of talking Britain down. No, she's exposing the ruins. The only one dragging the nation through the dirt is the man blaming everyone but himself while living costs crush families. He calls Bardneck's plan not credible. But here's reality. Starmer has no plan. Just a mic, a grin, and a nation in turmoil.
Mr. Speaker, she talks of their record, the disastrous Liz Truss mini-budget. Inflation through the work. They left a £22 billion black hole. Living standards at an all-time low. Energy prices through the roof. Mortgages through the roof. And Mr. Speaker, we're taking measures to bring prices down. That EU deal will bring prices down. That's why supermarkets welcomed it. What did she do? She opposes measures to bring prices down.
Bardneck doesn't just counter Starmer, she exposes him, line by line. She tears away the disguise and reveals the truth to the public. This isn't a leader fixing a crisis. This is the man who created one. She opens by calling his bluff. The Conservatives did bring inflation down to 2%. That's not opinion, it's fact. While Labour now hides behind excuses, they once achieved stability, and now they're wrecking it. And the best part, she turns his trade deals against him. Starmer brags about India and the US, their inflation is falling. Ours is climbing. So what exactly is he applauding? She invokes Awful April, a phrase destined to haunt this government. It's proof they were warned, they saw it coming, and they still chose silence. Starmer didn't stumble into a crisis. He built it brick by brick. And now he wants praise for letting it burn. He has no sense of what people are enduring. The chamber knows it. The viewers at home know it. The struggling mother, the laid-off worker, the pensioner watching the fuel meter, they all know it. Before we go further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive coverage on the seismic shifts shaping British politics. Let's continue now. This response is desperation dressed as repetition. Starmer, yet again, clings to the shadow of Liz Truss, as if invoking her name will somehow erase his own failures. He drags out the notorious mini-budget like a comfort blanket, hoping no one notices he's overseeing a slow motion collapse of his own. Let's unpack the hypocrisy. Starmer claims Truss created a black hole. He's carving a deeper one, just slower and quieter. He blames her for mortgage pain and energy costs, yet those same pressures are rising again under him. The difference is, Truss imploded in days. Starmer is corroding the nation inch by inch while pretending nothing's wrong. Then he flaunts his EU deal, says it will cut prices based on what? The polite nods of supermarkets. Not hard evidence, not lower bills, just vague approval from corporations that pass costs down regardless. This isn't leadership. This is PR spin aimed at people to warn out to scrutinize. And then, incredibly, he attacks Badana for rejecting measures to lower prices. When the measures he praises haven't worked, inflation is up, bills are up, confidence is down. If these are his solutions, he's selling medicine that poisons. In the end, it's not an answer, it's not a rebuttal. It's a politician hiding behind ghosts, misleading the public, and pretending he's not responsible while steering the wheel. This wasn't a comeback, it was a confession of failure, fear, and utter cluelessness.
Mr. Speaker, he needs to stop whining about what the last government did and look at what he is doing. He is the Prime Minister. Look at the numbers this morning. As if inflation figures weren't bad enough, we've also learned that the Deputy Prime Minister is on manoeuvres. He's lost control of the economy. He's lost control of his cabinet. She's sitting there staring at me. She knew exactly what she was doing when she briefed that into the papers. She is demanding, Mr. Speaker, 8 new tax rises, as if we haven't suffered enough. People out there are struggling. Businesses are struggling. People are losing their jobs. We cannot have more tax.
She's right. Starmer keeps whining about what others did, but this is his crisis now. Inflation is soaring. The public is drowning in bills. And instead of leadership, all he offers are excuses and backroom deals. Then she delivers the next bombshell. The Deputy Prime Minister is on manoeuvres. Translation: there's a civil war inside Labour, and it's out in the open. Cabinet leaks, hidden plots, senior ministers knifing each other through the press. While the nation suffers, the government is tearing itself apart, drunk on power, blind to the pain beyond Westminster. She turns straight to the Deputy PM, calling her out on sight, and confirms what the media already suspected. Starmer isn't just weak, he's encircled by vultures circling his job. If he can't control his cabinet, how can he pretend to control inflation?
Rises. Will the Prime Minister rule out new tax rises this year?
Mr. Speaker, she's not learned or changed. They lost the election because their appalling record on the NHS, on health, on prisons, you name it. And now she accuses everyone of whining about the impact that had on the country. It had a huge impact on working people across the country, and they're absolutely right to complain about it. She wants to talk about the Deputy Prime Minister. The Deputy Prime Minister, working with the Chancellor, building 1.5 million new homes, reforming our planning system, putting £7 billion into our economy, and bringing forward our employment rights bill, which is the single biggest upgrade to workers' rights in a generation.
That's desperate stuff. The whole House would have heard the Prime Minister refuse to rule out new tax rises. The whole House heard it. He didn't rule it out. That his cabinet is open warfare. The Deputy Prime Minister clearly calling the shots. What is it that we've learned? We're heading for new tax rises. We know inflation is up. It's just more and more bad news from a Prime Minister who has lost.
Kemi Badna doesn't waste time here. She asks the one question every working person wants answered. Are more tax hikes coming or not? She keeps it clear, direct, and unavoidable. And that's exactly why Starmer refuses to respond. Instead of giving the country a simple yes or no, Starmer plunges into a nostalgic blame game, ranting about the Conservatives' old record on the NHS, prisons, and public services. He tries to smother the current crisis under a heap of historical dust, but it doesn't land. Nobody asked about a decade ago, they asked about this year. And Starmer dodges because he already knows the truth. Yes, more taxes are coming. He then veers off into unrelated boasting, talking about house building, planning reform, and employment rights. But none of that touches the pain families are feeling now, and none of it answers the central question. It's a textbook distraction. He's piling empty promises like sandbags to hold back the flood of public anger. But higher taxes are coming. Inflation is already biting. The cabinet is splintered, and the Prime Minister has lost the plot. Starmer didn't just fail to reassure the public. He confirmed their worst fears.
So we heard his earlier answer, Mr. Speaker. We heard his earlier answer. on winter fuel. Let's try and get some more information. I'm going to ask him a simple question. It only requires one word, yes or no. Is he planning to U-turn on winter fuel cuts?
Yeah. Yes. Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I made clear in my earlier answer that as the economy improves, we want to take measures that will impact on people's lives, and therefore we will look at the threshold, but that will have to be part of a fiscal event. But, Mr. Speaker, they lost control of every element of the economy, of prisons, the borders, the NHS, you name it. And now she's lost control of her party. They are sliding into oblivion. They will have to trade on their past, Mr. Speaker, because that's all they've got.
Speaker, I made it really easy for the Prime Minister. Just a simple question, yes or no. And he could not answer. I wonder how the public feel about a man who can't give a straight answer to a simple question. And you look at all of them behind him, all of them cheering, when this inevitable U-turn on winter fuel comes, and it will, from a desperate Prime Minister, what will he say to the 348 MPs who went over the top and voted for the winter fuel cut last September? Just like the British public, how can any of them ever trust him again?
Mr. Speaker, it's only because of the measures we've taken that the economy is improving. Growth at the highest rate since in the G7. 4 interest rate cuts, 3 trade deals because countries want to trade with this country because of the decisions that we've made. All of those decisions opposed by the party opposite. They've learned absolutely nothing and they're going absolutely nowhere.
Mr. Speaker, this is a Prime Minister who says he's taking measures. The jobs tax is killing jobs. Inflation is up. Business confidence is down. Everyone is worried. He promised to cut bills, but today we see they are rising because of his policies. He promised not to raise taxes on working people, but his jobs tax means people are losing their jobs. Every week we come here with a new company that is saying they are shedding jobs. That's on his watch. He promised to protect pensioners, but his winter fuel cut has driven thousands into hardship. His MPs hate this. He can't see them, but they all look sick just hearing what it is he's going to do. Yes. So let's wait until... Oh, yes, they're laughing. They're laughing.
A simple question was asked. Will there be a U-turn on the winter fuel cuts? Yes or no? One word. That's all the Prime Minister had to provide. But instead, we got a masterclass in avoidance. He mumbled, hesitated, danced around the point, and then, right on cue, shifted to blaming the past, blaming the opposition, and pretending he's not the one leaving pensioners to freeze in their homes. This isn't politics anymore. This is cowardice. He won't say yes because it reveals betrayal. He won't say no because he's already preparing to cave. So instead, he rambles about fiscal events and repeats hollow lines about growth while inflation climbs, businesses fold, and ordinary people suffer. This is a Prime Minister who can't answer directly because every answer costs him credibility. And what does the opposition do? They highlight what we all see. He's being cheered on by MPs who know he's lying, who know a U-turn is looming, and who voted for cuts they now pretend to oppose. They look sick because they are sick with guilt, sick with dread, sick of shielding a man who's lost control. And what's Starmer's defense? He repeats the same tired slogans: growth in the G7, interest rates, trade deals. But none of that matters when thousands of pensioners can't afford heating, when jobs disappear week after week, when tax after tax bleeds the middle class dry. This isn't leadership, this is a farce. And the worst part, they're laughing.
They're laughing.
I expect better from whips. And boys on at the back, I've got my eye on you. Let me bear up.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Order. Sorry. Which one wants to leave first? If I hear it, there we are. They've got the first volunteer. Are you going to behave? Can we bear up?
Are you going to behave? They'll be better. While families shiver, while workers are thrown out of jobs, they're laughing too. Ask yourself, how do you trust a Prime Minister who won't even give a simple yes or no to the people he's hurting? How do you trust a government that applauds while stripping fuel from the elderly? You don't.
Mr. Speaker, they are laughing just as they laughed at the budget. Hands up who here wanted winter fuel cuts. Hands up. Not a single one of them. Not a single one of them. The fact of the matter is, This Prime Minister is destroying them. They need to look at what they are doing to the country. The truth is, we all know that it's this Prime Minister, this Labour government, and their policies that are shafting the country, isn't it?
This is not leadership, it's abandonment in a tailored suit. The Prime Minister dodges every serious question, hides behind spin, and grins while the cost of living crushes families. When pensioners shiver and workers lose their jobs, he offers silence and slogans. When asked to lead, he blames the past. When challenged, he sneers. The government isn't guiding the nation. It's standing on the sidelines as people suffer. Ministers clap, not for progress, but for survival. This isn't a country being governed with purpose or vision. It's a country being deserted by the very people chosen to protect it. Do you think Starmer will ever be able to answer real questions? What do you think of his responses? Tell us in the comments below. Does he even care? Do you want to see more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share, and subscribe to get more updates on British politics and how events are shifting it. Until the next video, stay tuned.